So much was made last year about how you ended up at SMU with the last-minute move from Blinn to SMU. How did that affect your performance during the year, the late arrival and joining the team as late as you did?
It didn't affect it too much. I came here late, but at the same time I was still at Blinn, and I was kicking every day at Blinn, you know, getting ready to play there. So I felt prepared in that sense.
Your first season at SMU, you got the starting job basically as soon as you got here. Looking back, how would you evaluate your performance last year?
I did solid. I could have done better, that's for sure. I was, I think, 8 for 10 for field goals, and I missed an extra point or two. You know, this year's goal is 100%, nothing less than that. So, yeah, I think I did all right, but I could do better.
What did you work on in the off-season? What was your primary goal to make yourself a better kicker this year?
Consistency. Consistency, that's the biggest part of kicking. Worked more on my ball connection and ball flight. In return, that's a more consistent ball. It goes straighter. So.
In a conversation over the off-season, you also talked about getting the ball up more quickly for a higher trajectory. Assuming that 99% of the people watching this have never kicked a ball in their lives, what do you change in order to change the trajectory of that and get a height earlier in its flight?
Nothing changes from a technical standpoint. Of course, leg strength is huge, and it's timing, it's connection. It's just almost like a golf swing. Hitting the ball in its sweet spot and exploding through it, and all about that snap and timing. So that's what really gets the ball up in the air, and not anything else. So.
In camp this year, you're not only doing place kicks, you're also competing as a punter as well. And you referred to kicking sort of like being a golf swing, trying to repeat that same swing over and over again, and the muscle memory involved. When you go back and forth from kicking to punting, obviously they're entirely different motions. Does one affect the other, the way you kick each way?
Not so much. It's like you said, it's two totally different kicks. Kicking off the ground and putting a ball that's already in the air, it's totally different things. Yeah, you have to make a transition. You know, when you're warming up, I'll go hit a couple no steps, you know, off the ground, or I'll go tap some into the net if I'm punting, just to get the feel for my leg. But other than that, there's not too much effect on, you know, performance and switching back and forth. So.
You have punted a lot in the past at Blinn and in high school. Do you consider yourself a punter who can also do field goals, or a place kicker who also punts? Are you better at one than the other?
I don't know. Field goals always been my passion. I've always enjoyed kicking more than I have punting. I like to say I can do both equally well.
Watching you in practice, when you're working on punting, you spend a lot of time working on the drop of the ball. Again, almost nobody who watches this has ever kicked a ball in their lives. When you tweak the angle or the height where you hit the ball, the point of the ball, what does that change in the flight? How does that affect the end result?
Well, the drop's the most important part of the punt. If you don't have a clean drop, or it's not where you want it to be, you're not going to hit the punt. You know, your leg swing could be the same in every sense. You could hit the ball, legs, everything's the same, but if the drop's not there, you're not going to hit the ball. So, you know, if you want to punt the ball correctly, you want the nose down a little bit, and you want it tweaked inside, and that'll help you get height on it and get it to turn over.
When you go into a stadium, when you're on the road, like this Sunday when you go to Baylor, kickers are usually among the first out on the field. Beyond the wind, what are you looking at, and what are you getting used to when you start evaluating the conditions that you're going to be playing in and making adjustments for that game?
Well, we go out there first. We go out there with the team and we walk the field. Everyone does that. I'll go out there with the rest of the team, and I'll just walk from extra point spot to extra point spot and check, you know, the ground right there. And it's just really just soaking up the atmosphere of the stadium, man. Get inside, get your mind right. Mentally seeing yourself making that kick from 30-yard right hash, you know, just going through it in your mind and getting ready. So.
From the field goal side of things, is there a huge adjustment for you when you play on different surfaces, either going from artificial turf to grass, or the different kinds of artificial turf that are out there?
Not really. All the turf's pretty much the same nowadays, so it's all pretty similar. So.
You mentioned getting stronger in the off season. Obviously, you put in weight work. You do a lot of kicking. What do you consider your range as field goals? How far would you tell coaches you feel comfortable up to a certain distance?
No wind. No wind as a factor. I would feel comfortable anywhere from 50 to 55, 56.